This talk is aimed at independent speech and language therapists working alone or in very small practices like myself, and it's a brief look at whether we can realistically carry out evaluation and research as part of our independent practice. As a sole trader with no admin support, this is what my balance of work-life balance looks like. It's a real struggle to find the balance between client contact, which generates income, and the business admin. And I think even without any research and evaluation in the mix, work feels like this. And there are two main challenges for independent therapists who would like to include project work in their practice. And the first is, how can this possibly fit in with without tipping the balance away from client care and from income generation and from having a decent work-life balance? And the second is that if the mere thought of statistical analysis leaves us cold and we don't have any experience, what support is there? So I think one of the more specific challenges facing sole traders is our relative isolation. And I'd like to share my experience of getting started on 3 small-scale projects and then explain the impact this has had on my work. So firstly, to evaluate some training that I'm doing, instead of just asking for participant feedback after the training, I've used an evidence-based tool to audit teachers' classroom practice before and after the training. And the teachers have agreed to compare their own early years communication scores with this year, with last year, to evaluate the impact of the training on the children. The second piece of work involves me videoing myself with children from that I'm working with on my caseload and providing the videos for Greenwich University staff for teaching of students. And the university have actually evaluated the effectiveness of these teaching tools that I've made. And finally, I'm examining my own outcomes data, and where I've been able to spot patterns of things that work well and not so well, this has led to me arranging extra supervision and seeking new interventions. So these have been my main sources of support along the way, and they've all been free. And with all these projects on the go, what does my life feel like now at work? Has the quality of client care taken a hit? Am I broke? Is my balance off the scales? And I found no, it isn't actually. The balance feels okay. It's gradually become part of my everyday practice. And while initially, as with doing anything new for the first time, it's time consuming, I now have templates and systems in place. So it's a questionnaire here and a video there, and things are getting easier. I don't have robust enough accounts data to work out the true effect it's had on my income, but given the number of hours I'm putting in, it's at least comparable to my latest public sector salary. So for me, the benefits have outweighed the additional time I put in, and I feel more connected to the speech and language therapy world. And reflecting on videos of oneself is such excellent CPD that I hope publishing outcomes data on my website might generate new referrals leading to more income. So to answer the question, I think the answer is yes, we can, provided we start small or are part of a bigger team. And here are my initial starting points. I'd be happy to talk later to anyone who's interested as well. And if you're really ready to get going and get stuck in, I would try answering some of these questions to start mapping your route towards doing evaluations. And to finish, I'll leave you with a quote from Vicky Joffe, who made the helpful analogy of building the evidence base as a marathon. And I think that just by signing up for what works and and looking for evidence for your favourite therapy approach, or just by reading a couple of articles from SpeechBite, then you're over the starting line. Thank you.